This is going to be the most important video that you watch today. I'm going to give you the exact steps and a 30-day plan so that you can start thinking in English within a month. To start thinking in English, you need to make it your default language. That means you'll have to teach your brain to recognize English as the most important language in your life. Now, let me tell you how to do it. Step 1 is going to be immersion in the English language. This is the most important step. This means that you need to only listen to music, TV shows, podcasts, whatever, in English. Surround yourself with the language as often as possible. You can do this while you're in the shower or while you're driving to work. Whenever you have time, make sure you're listening to English. By doing this as often as possible, you'll be teaching your brain that this language is the most important language to me right now. And your brain can't tell the difference between being in an English-speaking country versus being in the street or in your car or in your home listening to English constantly. Remember that by listening to English as often as possible, your brain will have to assume that it's an extremely important language for you. And this is the path to being able to think in English. Number 2, talk to yourself in English. So now you keep hearing English, your brain thinks, okay, this is important. I need to be paying attention for English words so that I can understand it better. This is great. However, we need to start talking in English. And the easiest way to do that is with yourself. Now, a lot of people are extroverted. I understand that. But the chances are you're like me. And we have a hard time practicing a language with somebody because we feel embarrassed about our level in the language. By talking to yourself, you'll be able to jump that barrier immediately and have conversations with yourself. When you're in the shower or when you're in bed before you go to sleep, just try and have a little conversation with yourself. Tell yourself about your goals or what you did today or what your plans are for tomorrow. And if you can't think of how to say a sentence or a word, just look it up with Google Translate and it will help you remember it the next time. Number 3, get someone to talk to today. Now, like I said, I know talking to people, it feels a little bit uncomfortable in a language that we're learning, which is why I'm going to tell you your 2 best options. Number 1, you can go with a free language learning app. This means you'll download HelloTalk or Tandem, and you'll be able to get speaking practice with partners. The problem is, you're going to have to do some searching to find a good language partner. However, this work is essential. You need to get some practice with a native speaker. And your second option, which will probably be less uncomfortable, depending on you, but if you have some money to invest in your education, get yourself a private tutor. This is someone who does this for a living, so they won't make you feel uncomfortable about your mistakes, and they'll feel very comfortable explaining to you errors that you make. If you're interested in getting a private tutor, go to the description and you'll find a link that will give you $10 off your first private tutor session. And tip number 4, journal every day. Journaling in general is an amazing way to get practice expressing yourself. It allows you to think, what would be a more interesting way of saying this? It causes you to be creative in a language. And with the help of Google Translate, you can even write something that's pretty complicated and it will be grammatically correct. This means at the end of the day, you can read a bunch of journal entries or things that are personal and relatable to you. And I swear, if you do all of these things for 30 days, you will absolutely be able to think much better in English than you can today. Now, check it out. Here's the 30-day game plan if you want to get incredible results. Number 1, your immersion time needs to be around 3 hours a day. I know that sounds like a lot, but hear me out. Even if you work 10 hours a day, let's call it 9 to 7, you can still probably listen to about an hour of English while you're getting ready for work. You might be able to listen to some English while you eat lunch on your way home. And I really suggest that you watch a movie or an episode of a show in English before you go to sleep. Trust me, 3 hours a day sounds like a lot, but as somebody who used to work 10 hours a day, 6 days a week, I was always able to make it happen. And I know that you can too. Number 2, talk to yourself in English. You don't have to do this for a long time. I suggest 5 minutes a day. So that could literally be just while you take a shower, you try and have a conversation with yourself. Not only will this help you get practice expressing yourself verbally, but you'll also realize some words and expressions that you maybe don't know, but it would really help you if you did. It kind of will show you the holes in your vocabulary. Number 3, talking to someone that speaks English. Now, I suggest that you either do it 15 minutes a day or 30 minutes every 2 days. This will be extremely important for you because when you're listening to a lot of English, you'll learn new words, you'll acquire new words, and the sooner that you can use them in a conversation, the better. This will also take a lot of vocabulary that you already knew, and it will help turn it from passive vocabulary to active vocabulary because you will need to use it in a conversation. And number 4, journal every day. Now, this should only take about 10 minutes a day. Journal however you want. If you'd like, you can check out this video I did on my journaling method, which is called the RRSL method, or you can really do it however. The point is, you write something, you express yourself in some way, and then you put it into Google Translate, make sure that it's grammatically correct, and then you take the time to write it by hand in your journal. Follow these tips, and I guarantee that you'll be thinking in English within 30 days. Thinking in English happens when your brain realizes that English is so important that it becomes your default language, the language you fall back on, that you rely on to communicate and to understand what people are saying to you. If you want to review the plan again, it will be in the description along with the flashcards for this video and your $10 off of Italki. Have an incredible week. Thank you so much for all of the support. Goodbye.